I'll just use a microfiber cloth to take the excess ink off that brush. For my grass then, let's see what we've got. I might go for this sort of minty color. It is a pigment ink pad. I don't really know what it's going to be like with these brushes, but sure, we'll give it a go. Oops, I should probably clean this. It doesn't glide quite as well. It's a bit stickier, I guess. But I do like the fact that it's really soft. It helps that it's a light colored ink pad. Hi, Brina. Oh no, Tally says somebody got kicked off. If you're watching on YouTube, just underneath my face, there's a button that says live or something. You can click it and sometimes it catches you up. Hopefully that it's not too much. Hopefully it's, oh, I think there was an issue with YouTube. Okay, hopefully nothing too serious. I'll just keep going a little bit further. Oh, Candy says Earl Grey ink color. I see. Your stream just got restarted. Oh, boo. I'm gonna go and open my door in case it's a heat thing, although I'm pretty sure if it was something locally on my end, it probably would have rebooted my whole PC, to be honest. But you never know. There we go. So we've got some cloudy skies here. And then we've got some ducky doos. And so what I'm thinking is I might actually stamp these guys and then color them in with some liquid. Thermoweb adhesive pen deco foil. I've got glue. What have I got? This Ultra Bond adhesive. Apply a thin line or dots depending on the project to the surface. Use light pressure to press materials together. I'm wondering if that would work as well. I'm not sure. You guys can have a look for me if you're free. So let's give that a go then with some. We'll stamp it and then we'll do some liquid watercoloring, which I think will be super fun. Get some magnets on the go. What instigated tonight's theme? Says Yels. Well, I hadn't used the ducks yet, and I've seen a few projects on from our Heffy doodlers, so I really wanted to play with them, to be honest. Now, where is that other ink pad? So yeah, I was totally jealous. Blackout Specialty Hybrid Detail Ink, acid-free, archival, non-fading, waterproof. Let's give it a go. So this is ink on 3 ink. I used their embossing ink last week, but I haven't used these ones yet. So I want to be able to watercolor on it. So hopefully that'll work. Also, I'd really like a little bit of rain. It's just really hot. I just think I'm a pup more than anything else, but he's just, I'm scared that he's going to get overheated. All right. Hi, Laurie. Oh, Lisa's off to work. Oh, Rianne says, daft question, but what is flocking? That is not a daft question at all. I shouldn't assume that people know what it is. So this is the way I like to describe it. When we were all kids, you would sometimes get stickers that felt fuzzy. Okay, it had like almost like a velvety feel to it. And that is because it has been flocked. So it has this fuzzy like texture to it. And the flocking is that fuzzy texture. So this one here is a sheet of the flock. So it's like a piece of paper or acetate or something that's been flocked, but then it can transfer onto things. And then the other one that I have is a green one, and it's a little tub, and essentially it's like fluff that it's little tiny fibers that all you can stick down to projects, and then it becomes fuzzy. So that's what flocking is. Laurie says, first time watching you, you're great. Sit here with Candy while she yells, oh, great. Yeah, she's going to do that. Hey, Laurie, thanks for joining us. So the other thing is, I put away a lot of my stuff from Junkie Fest because I was trying to reclaim my craft room, which is pretty ridiculous. And one of the things that I put away was my Brutus Monroe aqua pigments. So I think it would be fun to color in these little duckies using the aqua pigments. Let's see what we can do. So this is like a liquid watercolor, and it's really intense. So I'm just going to put like 2 drops in there because I can always add more. Yellow. And grab a paintbrush. Yesterday I resorted to spritzing myself with a distress sprayer because it was so hot in my craft room. All right, before I do anything else, do I have any kitchen roll? No, I do not. Let me grab one of these. He's going to class. He's going to post his class video today sometime. Do you mean Christopher? That's going to be fun. Okay, so I love watercolors, but I really love liquid watercolors. And here's the thing, right? Loads of people love shading with Copics, as do I, but I don't have a lot of patience, mostly because when I Copic nowadays, it's when you guys are watching. So I used to take all my stamped images to Starbucks and things and pre-stamp them and then take them there and color them in, and I had all the time in the world. So I like that. But Nowadays, it's all with you guys watching. I think that I don't know, not boring, because I think there will be some people that find it entertaining, but it's very specific, right? A lot of people will find it repetitive, etc. So I don't want to do it. But I actually really enjoy using flat color because I think it looks really cartoony. Now, if I took out my watercolor paints, my block, whatever you call it, like the palette, the hard stuff, and I wet my paintbrush and swirled it around I can't think of the word, the actual, no, can't think of it. One of you guys will think of it. And I will add it to my project. Like every time I do that, it will come out a slightly different color because of the way that it has been diluted down with my water. Because the aqua pigment is pure color, then it is going to be the same color every time I use it. So I get this really bright pigmented color for my duckies. Yeah. Now, I believe, oh, there's an orange. I was going to say I believe you can mix these, but there is an orange. Is this an orange? Yeah, I think it is. It even says orange. So that's my orange. I'm actually going to take some of my yellow. So I only want it for their feet. I'll go a little bit darker for the beak. So some of you might be wondering what kind of paintbrush I'm using. I actually, a couple of years ago on my Christmas wish list, I put some fine paintbrushes onto my wish list, and these are actually for nail art. I'm pretty sure they were from eBay or something like that. So they're for nail art. They're not very fancy or anything. I'm pretty sure there was a set of maybe 6 or 7, and it wouldn't have been more than sort of $5 or $10 if that. So this is a number 2, but I like the way it has the triangular barrel here, and mostly because it doesn't roll away. I like it. Yay! All right, so we've got, I'm just going to squirt a little bit more in there to wash my paintbrush. Yeah, that'll do. So what do you think? Do you like? Really vibrant. I'm loving it. Okay, pop you back over here, Mr. Paintbrush. Hey Mocap, how you doing? Mocap says hey. Over on Twitch, I think it is. Lucy says, watching on the big screen tonight is far too hot in my craft room. You're telling me. We've gone up to 6.5. We've gone up a degree. It's like, what are we going to be at by the end of this evening, I wonder? Awesome. I'm going to leave this to dry now. So let's see if we can actually create enough space for this. Oh, you know what we should do? Let's stamp another ducky and add some add some glue with a view to flock it, because I'm not sure how it's going to work out. So let's test it. Why not? Why not? Yeah. I'm good, thank you. I'm hot and sweaty, mocap. It's a bit hot in here. And those of you who follow on Instagram, Heffy Doodle on Instagram will know that, because this week Ranger was complaining that it was too hot in my craft room, and he created a flash sale coupon, which, by the way, is probably still live because I can't put a expiry time. So I had to put an expiry date, which is today. So it's probably still live, I would imagine, till midnight. And the code is Heatwave, all in capital, dies, which is pretty big discount, guys. And I know loads of you been messaging, getting excited about that. All right, this is not Copic friendly cardstock. This is more of a watercolor cardstock. So I'm being extremely light with my Copic coloring because I don't want the tooth of the paper to damage my Copics. But I also don't want it to bleed because it's not the kind of paper for that, for the alcohol. But I'm just trying to add a little bit of gray. We're going to cover it in glue now anyway. And we'll see. You're killing me. I need to save my pennies for a while. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Okay, let's try that Deco glue. Unibond. This is called Unibond. I have no clue really whether this is the right kind of thing or not. But we'll experiment. Also in my care package, I got precision tips. But I'm going to just wing it. So this glue is called Ultra Bond Adhesive, and it is from Thermal Web. And I'm putting a decently thick layer on here. Mostly because it's kind of impossible to do a thin layer. Maybe that's why I was sent the ultra fine tips. I'll just repeat what I said at the start in case anyone is joining late. There'll be no Come Craft with Me next Friday. Holiday. I'm off on holiday. Ranger will still be here with his house sitter, but I don't think he wants to craft with you guys for some reason. Rude, I know. So rude. Oh, there's the rain on now. Okay, I'm going to put these to the side, and we need an hour. So that's 9:45 for us just now. So that brings us to 11:15. So put that up there. Hopefully I don't touch it. All right, these are dry, beautiful little duckies. Let's cut them out. That was a super offer from Ranger, the Heffy pup. I managed to take advantage, says Lucy. Yay! Yes, I think your order has been shipped already, from what I remember. I'll put these away. Try to tidy up as I go. I'm sure it'll never last. Little ducky, I love you. Doo-doo-doo-doo. You see, isn't there something really cartoony about those? Because they're so, I guess the color's so intense is what I mean. Wing it, says Elsby. I know, I thought of that when I was coloring the duck. I was like, wing it. But I find the pun in everything, so sometimes I over pun things, my husband would say. All right. So let's see what we got going on over here. You know, I think I kind of want to go a little bit blue along here, because do I? Is that going to ruin it? Let's see what we've got. Little ducky over here. Little ducky right here. I'm going to get my slide on over dies from Lawn Fawn and use them to die cut a slot along here. Maybe that might work as well. I'll hold on to that one. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the bigger one because I think my sentiment will read better that way. And this is just slightly shorter than the width, so that works perfectly. Some might say. Right, small enough that it can go through my beautiful baby blue. Love my baby blue. So that is called stitched MFT stitched oval word windows. I love over punning, says Elsby. Yay. Then you can stick with me. Huzzah. Okay, I'm going to keep hold of this because it's exactly the same color as my top layer. And that's going to help me make sure I get a nice base. So if we move him all the way over there, I don't know how far he's going to move. It's like they're kissing. Where's my sentiment? Awesome. We'll do that. Okay. I'm going to get a piece of, just a piece of paper, I think will do fine. I just want to be able to glue all these clouds together so that it's one piece rather than a whole load of pieces. It doesn't really have to be special or anything. It doesn't even have to be the right width. It just needs to be. I just want to make it a little bit more user friendly, and by user I mean me. easier to stick things down then. Assemble my jigsaws. And they'll just slide in together, so it makes it super easy. And this is going to go like so. I'm just going to trim it a tiny little bit. Like so. I suppose I could have him come in this way. That might work as well. Yeah, that might work. Okay, let me get a card base. So I can build this up. It's not a card base. What's everybody doing this weekend then? I need to start drawing the next release for Heffy Doodle. So any ideas, throw them out there. We've had a few suggestions over on the Heffy Doodlers group on Facebook. Nancy is working. Aboo. Boo for working. I know it's a necessary evil, but we don't have to like it, do we? All right, let's stick this down. So I've taken my front panel now and layered it up on top of a card blank, and then I'll take this tiny little sausage, slide it in there, because there is a continuation of the grass there that's very subtle, but you will notice it whenever it's all together. And then this is going to be all raised up apart from Mr. Ducky's. I'm just going to go and see if Ranger wants to go into the house. Bear with me a second. You want to go inside, honey? Here you go. It's too hot in my craft room for big floofy puppies. He shall resort to the couch quite happily. Sarah Louise says, could you please try and incorporate a truly into the next release? I want to have a truly magical day. Oh, that's a good one. Truly. I need to write that down or else I will forget. Because then you can have truly, like truly awesome. Also, you can sing truly scrumptious. Let's have a little look at my sun. I did want to have my sunshine. Sunshine on a rainy day. So I think for the flock, let's use some of the orange flock. What you can do is use some like stick it adhesive. Let me see if I can find my stick it. That'll do. So use a little bit of double sided. Okay, so now this is just going to be sticky essentially. Trees and plants. Puns like "I'll stick with you," barking up the tree. I would love to wish you. That's a good one. Right, so I wanted this shape for my die. For my son, I mean. So let's cut him out of my double-sided sticky. I'm not sure whether it's better to flock a full piece of paper and then die cut out of it. I suspect it might be, I'm not sure. So this is called Orange Glow. Place design face down onto the colored side of the flock. Okay, so we want to put the flock like this. All right. I'm going to put this through my die cutting machine now just to give it a little smoosh a couple of times. More men's stuff, says Vanessa. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I will probably never do a themed thing like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang because the risk of getting sued is real. So my husband works in the computer games industry. Ooh. You guys see this? Let me zoom. Ooh, look at that. Fuzzy. So pretty. My husband works in the computer games industry and so he knows all about licensing and whatnot. Like, it's not something to mess with. So we could die cut this. Kind of wish I had yellow flock now. Hey ho. Can you ink flock? Probably not successfully. We'll just have a little piece of yellow cardstock, I guess. I'll go to my stash of scraps. Did I tell you guys I've got a dodgy knee? I'm wearing a knee bandage at the moment. I noticed whenever we first got Ranger, mostly because when I would take him out to the garden, I'd be bending down and be like, come on, do me, all this stuff, or playing with him. But I noticed every time that I bent down, and then when I went to stand back up, my knee would go click, proper click. And it was never sore, but it clicked all the time. And so I remember asking a few people and looking it up and whatever, and it said, it says as long as it's not sore, then it's not a problem, because it's just like air pockets or something going pop in your throat. That's fine. Okay, good. It was never sore, so it was never really a problem until it was sore. So yeah. So it started getting sore when I was at Junkie Fest, but never really enough to complain about it, if you know what I mean. And it was worse whenever I had sat down for a while, and then I would get up and I'd be like, oh, it kind of feels like my knee's twisting. Of course, I did what every person does and had a little look on Google. So it might be a meniscus tear, whatever that is, huh? And it yeah, it kind of feels like it's twisting, so I don't know whether it is or not. We'll have to see. So I am going to move. Should I move left ducky, zoop, or right ducky? Zoop. I feel like I want to move left ducky, because then the pull tab will be on this side. I think that's more natural than one on this side. Oh yeah, Marjolaine says truly scrumptious is a song, but yes, it is. Correct. Yay. Oh, Candy says, yes, we did in a class at Junkie Fest. We stamped on flocked flowers. But the thing is, I want to ink up my white in yellow and then stick that onto something else. But I'm thinking, does the yellow go right the way through the flock, or does it do the top layer? And then when I stick it this way, I see the back. I guess we're just going to have to experiment, aren't we? So I want to have a little tab coming out here for this guy. I'm going to grab my strips of ease for this. This is a fun way to use your strips of ease. Ooh, maybe I'll use this. Might be too big. Yeah, it's a little big maybe. This one. I feel like it might be a little big. Just use my strips of ease. Use the originals. So I'm going to use one of these. See if I've got any scraps in the same cardstock. And I'm using my paint on cardstock again because it is actually quite a decent thickness as well, so that'll work nice. The right ducky, because his arms are sticking up as he's moving, says Nancy. Yeah, but he could be like, bring it in, baby. You see, I think it works both ways. Hi, Eden. How are ya? Oh, Ranger's back. This is just using the strips of ease. Come to mama. I know, right? I'm actually going to add a little bit of green on top here to try and replicate what I've already got. Oops. All right, that'll do. Oh, it's so hot. This is going to come across like this. Yes, I'm going to stick him down solidly and then have this one coming across. Might have to angle him slightly so he's not falling off the card. She's like, okay, I'm coming from my hug. Okay, I'm going to build some channels, for want of a better word, to this card base so that I know where I'm at. And it's not a shake or anything, so a 1 mil or 2 mil foam tape will do, but I only have 3. Perhaps snip off the back wing and place it at a different angle. Oh, that's a good idea. All right. So we're gonna have this like this, going all the way over to here. So one thing you can do to make sure that this that it doesn't come all the way out is put a little piece of card across here. So let me show you what I mean by that. Where's my cardstock? Here. So this is just the leftover piece of card. So you can just make it like a T shape like this. Let me show you. Oh, let me do it this way and then I can trim it off. Stick that down. And then trim. I'm going to trim it down so it doesn't catch on my foam tape. So it'll be like this. And then when you pull it along, it can't come off the end of your card. So the only thing you need to bear in mind is that it's not going to catch on anything along here. So make sure your foam tape is up out of the way, like right here will be fine. I'm already struggling with a mess on my table. You're right, both ways would work. Ah, pretty green, what is it? This is a Cheapest Chips Hobbycraft ink pad, a pigment ink pad. It's like a 99p ink pad. I bought them more so for Piper to play with than anything else. But they're fine, and I really like the color of that one. So, ooh. This is going to go on like here, and this is going to slide out like this. But before I do anything else, I want to make sure that my sentiment is going to fit in there. Now the good news is that because I've put that, what I call the sausage in there, I know that that's going to be seen. So I can use that as a guide. Take my duckies off. Oh, it's so hot. Some people were asking, by the way, on the Heffy Doodlers Facebook group if we were going to go to Stevenage. There's a craft fair thing, and I had a look to see if we could do that, but it's actually all sold out. There's very little exhibitor space. So sorry guys, but we will not be at Stevenage, certainly not this time. Maybe the next one, next event. So I was quite impressed with my Ink on 3 waterproof detail ink. Happy days. Loving that. Oh, actually, I'll not use this one. I'll use the big one for this, because otherwise I'll not have room for my little pull tab. I hope I'm able to make it all the way till midnight tonight, because it is hot. So hot. All right, so I'm going to make this a little bit more snuggy along here. Oh, you can't even see. Let me move this up. I'm going to make it a little bit more snuggy along here so that it glides a bit better. And it doesn't wiggle up and down so much. So I'm going to be completely there we go. Let's pop you in there. So now this it will wiggle a little bit. I can probably put this up here actually. Oops, I lost it. It'll pull out like this. Let's give it a go. Ooh, Stamporama also have one Newbury race course. It has been and gone this year at the beginning of July, but it'd be great to see there next year. Yes, things like this I need to. I don't know why I'm not in the loop for them. I guess I'm just not. They're not on my radar. We'd love to do things like that. I know there was an event at the end of January or something, but I was in Creativation then, so I wasn't able to do it. That was the only other one that I kind of had my mind on. When skies are gray. Ta-da! All right, perfect. Let's take him out. Put him in. Oh, poking out. Okay. So he's going to go here. We're going to stick him on, but we don't want to stick him onto this area. In fact, what you could do is put something across there if you wanted to. I'm just going to stick down his head and his feet. And then this is going to be on here. 2 layers. Oh no, this one's quite fat, so that'll do the trick nicely. There we go. Beautiful. And I'll stick him on first because I think this will figure out how far along. He's like kish, kish, kish. So he can go to there and I can read my sentiment. So that is cool. Maybe I can raise him up a little bit. I mean, this is going to be poking out anyway, so I'm not that bothered about him overlapping the edge. To be fair. But I definitely do not want him to be raised up. So we'll use some glue dots for him. Put one on the inside of his top wing. One on his head. And one on his other wing. And I'll just do one of his feet. I don't think it really is going to matter that much. Beautiful. I was like, come to me. Nice. Okay. Somebody had a question there. Do you always craft standing up when you aren't streaming? Yes. I had a ski accident a little while ago and I got sciatica. And when I had it down my left hand side, and so when I had sciatica, it was fine when I was standing up, but when I was sitting, it killed me. So I even I try to work as much as I can standing up, because if I sit down for a long time, my sciatica comes back. However, if I look back to before my skiing accident, I actually had a standing table anyway. I think it's because, as you know, I don't really plan things. So I'm like over here and over there and over here and over there. And if I was on a chair, I'd just constantly be pushing my chair in and out and in and out and out. It's not for me. I definitely prefer crafting standing up. Okay, so I'm thinking that I might add a little element here. So I'm going to go and grab actually that tag, what's it called? Mark My Words. This one, I'm going to use this side of it. And I reckon I'm going to use some orange cardstock. I think that might be kind of cool to tie in with my orange sunshine. There we go. And I'm going to cut this twice, just the end bit. It doesn't really need to be very big, just big enough so someone can grab it. So I'm cutting that once. And twice. Do a picoteur. And we'll layer these back to front. Yell says, I stand too. Oh, good. Where do you get a standing table? So mine goes up. I was working for the man, and at my at my business center, because it was business center that I worked at my business center, we were the home location for the health and safety officer for the UK, and every time he came, we'd always look after him. And I loved him; he's awesome, Tony. And he then came along and was like, "Well, I think you know, now that you've hurt yourself, you need to do a risk assessment." And I was like, "Yes, I know, Tony. Don't worry. I've done one," type of thing. And he says, "Well, do you find it easier standing up?" And I was like, "Yes, I do, but I'll manage." And he was like, "No, no, 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 you will not. I'll sign off on this." So he got me the table that goes up and down. And then whenever I left that company, this table is like completely different size to anything else that they have in their business centers. So it would have just gone to the bin. So they said to me, "By the way, do you want this?" I'm like, "Yes." So yes. Isn't the table kind of low even for a standing one? No, it goes up and down. So you can't see it. It goes up and down. So it's perfect. It's got a little button. Up and down the down. All right, I think I'm gonna go for the solid guy here and just stamp it in black. I think that will be impactful, as they say. I don't know who it is that they say, but as I say. That's kind of them. I mean, to be honest, it was doing them a favor, but because it would, otherwise they would have to pay for someone to dispose of it. So I swooped in there. However, I have had other people say to me about standing desk. I'm pretty sure this one cost, I think it was less than $500, but I mean, that's still a lot for a, you know, for a desk. But it's less than back surgery, I can guarantee you that. All right, so I'm going to hold these two together like so, and then I'm going to cut it down the side. Now I'm trying to figure out whether I should wing it. Yeah. Should probably have been a bit more deliberate about that. But hey ho. And then one's going to go in the back here like this. And one's going to go on top like that. So we're going to cut this off. I'm actually going to trim it slightly shorter than what we're at here, because I don't want any white popping out this side. The rain is falling down. Put this back one on first of all. And then align that one on top like this. All right. So now my sentiment. Elsie says, I'm always going to different drawers to find stash, Elsby, when making, and to position mats and layers, you have to lean over and eyeball position exactly. Yeah, that's true. Hey, Aunt Max, those tables are nice for tall people like me. Yes, they are. Because a lot of the time, like, even like a worktop table, they're not the right height depending on what height you are. They're built for like a generic size person, but who is generic these days? Nobody. I like it as well because if I do a come craft with me with Piper, we can lower it down to her level, so it's actually a proper level for her height, her tiny 8-year-old height. So that works. Guys, I was totally going to add some rain. Should I add some rain? Like a light drizzle of rain? What do you think? Would that be fun? Add some rain? And then we'll cut out the word sunshine. Let me get some. Maybe some more orange. Orange and soft. Ooh, this is a different orange. Kind of in between the two. Is that going to mess things up? Let's try it. Elsby says, I get pain in the base of my spine when I sit for too long. Yeah, that's what happened to me. I keep that there with my little dot. And I'm actually going to cut this out a couple of times in just some normal white paper, and we'll layer that up. I keep moving out of the way. Sorry, guys. I'm sure it's annoying. It's cool that it can be made to fit pie. I never thought of that, says Aunt Max. So yes, I mentioned at the start that Piper wants to do a come craft with me. So maybe this weekend we'll get to do one. Turn on your notifications if you want to join the fun. So what do you think, guys? Shall I add some rain to my card, or do you think that will ruin the aesthetic? I think we should keep it a sunshiny day. So here's a question for you. In Northern Ireland, where I grew up, and so in Northern Ireland where I grew up, people have these weird sayings. Well, first of all, everybody talks about the weather. Like the first thing you say is like, lovely day, oh, it's a wet one, or something like that. It's all about the weather. I think that's a very British thing, but definitely in Northern Ireland as well. So if it was raining, you would say, lovely weather for ducks. Which I never considered odd or peculiar or anything. It was just completely normal until I came over here, and pretty sure I said it one time and somebody just didn't get it. They were like, it's raining. What? Huh? I was like, for ducks. Lovely weather for ducks. Have you guys ever heard that before? If not, that's something new that you've learned today. If it's raining, you say lovely weather for ducks. Oops, leave that still. If you add rain, then you may decide you need a puddle. That's true. No rain. Elsby says, no, I don't think they've heard that before. Lovely weather for ducks. So I'll just take a minute to poke out all the little bits from my sunshines. Sunshine lollipops and all right. Let's get my little glue pen. So we're not doing rain. I don't think. Let's glue these together then. I wonder if I have a orange embossing powder. That's probably a little bit too much to ask. Yells, no, Aunt Max says, never heard that before, but going to use it now. I live in the land of ducks. Aww. Plus, it's a nice way to be positive about, instead of like complaining about weather, which is kind of what us British people do. Like that's our forte. Like, as a nation, we're really great about complaining about weather. And look at me being the stereotype of when he complained about this gorgeous, glorious sunshine about 20 million times tonight. Oh. Those of you who follow me on Facebook may have seen a post this week. I signed up, I subscribed to a newspaper. So in case you don't know, I also live in a bubble. I might as well live in the land of ducks. I really, really hate watching the news because it's always really depressing, essentially. Have you ever seen Russell Howard, the comedian? He has a TV show, and I think it's called Good News. Is it called Good News? I don't even know he still has it. It's been out for ages and ages. We used to watch it all the time because he would talk about what was in the news, but he would kind of turn it on its head a little bit, and obviously it was comedy sketches. And at the end, he would always end on a real positive note about something really positive that happened. Anyway, so I subscribed to a newsletter that is called the Happy Newspaper. Not a newsletter, a newspaper, proper newspaper. So it is a printed publication, and it focuses on all good news. And I've not read it all yet because I'm trying to savor it, essentially. Okay, this is getting a bit thick, so I think I'm going to just go straight to the this one, the orange, as they say en France. Yay! I love my two-way glue pen for sticking stacks of die-cut words on top of each other. Yay! Yell says, it's a British kind of phase like it's raining cats and dogs. Do you know that said that? I don't know how much it is used in general conversation over here. It's definitely a phrase that everybody grows up knowing, but I don't know whether it's actually commonplace, should we say. How are you, darling? Oh, isn't it raining cats and dogs today? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just me that doesn't say it. I'm going to pop this in the back of my little pouch that holds my sunshine for now. And then we need You Are My Sunshine. So we could put it on this, but I should have probably just stamped it on there before everything else. Of course, never thought about it until it was too late. We could put it on a little sentiment strip. Let's maybe give that a go. Oh, Yellow says what glue pen are you using? This is the, oh, come on. The Sticks 2 2-in-1 glue pen. It has a pump action, so you do this, you pump it, and it brings it up to the top, so you don't squeeze it or anything. You just have to pump it, and it makes it flow nicely. So if you use it straight away, it's like a blue tint and it's permanent. But if you leave it to dry a little bit, then it will be repositionable. It's like tacky. It's really cool. So I like the way that you have a little bit of wiggle room with it. Let's have a little look at our duckies that we did earlier. Okay, this is probably... Okay, that is... Okay, we're 5 minutes off an hour. It's actually looking pretty... It's pretty tacky. It's just a little blop in the middle there that looks like it's not dried to to get rid of all the tackiness. So let's just do that before I do the You Are My Sunshine. All right. So I just need the You Are My. So I'm not worried about the sunshine. I would double stamp it if I was using it, but I'm not using it because obviously I've got my die cut word. And I'm going to trim this down. But what did I do with my strips of ease? All right. So the real skinny strips of ease, I think, should work for this beautifully. So I will use that. Oh, my memo tape is like drying up. I'm only getting one, well, normally I get like 4 or 5 uses out of my memo tape. I'll probably only get about 3 when it's so warm in here. Got my little You Are My. And we'll get to stick all these on. Let's get this guy stuck down. Top. I think this will fit perfectly in between here and here. And I think I'm going to raise it up ever so slightly. But let's stick this one down first of all. This is the Brutus Monroe glue. It dries clear, so I'm going to use that to stick it down because I think it'll be a little bit more robust than the 2-in-1 glue pen, a little bit more wiggle room as well. It'll take a little bit longer to dry. Awesome. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit and put a tiny dot there. For my yellow, whoops, my yellow eye dot. You'll not really notice that the fact that it's not 20 million layers deep. And then a little bit of foam to raise this up. Just like that. Yay! Yelsia says, I love doing this technique, stacking the sentiment dies. Yes, I do too. As my dining room is my craft room, I have to hide my creations in different stages, which is so annoying. To dot or not to dot? I don't dot. I, says Yells. I am ambivalent to dots. Sometimes I dot, sometimes I don't. I do, sometimes I don't. I normally don't care enough. Essentially. All right. There we go. Let's see. This is probably more, you're going to need to put this into either a custom made envelope or a square envelope, but that's fine. I love the fact that they have a little hug here. You know, you could put something here, but then whenever you slide it back, you're going to see it there. We could put a love heart above him. He's cute though. Yay! Little duckies. I just noted your pants. My little pants. My shorts, yes. People get a kick out of the fact you called it my pants. Get me a little photo of this guy. Yay. Great. All right. What else are we going to do tonight? Whew, let's do my flocking, and then I might have to dip out because I'm not wanting to complain. Whew, whew, whew. Let's get some white flock on the go. You know what we should have done is gotten some the puddle as well and done that, because then we would have had the blue for the puddle as well. Oh dear me. Oops. This guy's a bit fatter, so I want to make sure I've got enough room for him. Probably to about here. White latte, this one's called. Ooh. So I'm not sure if you can kind of see, it looks really shiny. Not wet shiny, but tacky shiny. I think that's what we need. This one looks still like it's got a blob in the middle. It might work fine. There's only one way to find out. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to run these through my die cutting machine a couple of times probably to mush them down there. Hopefully that will work. Oh no, do you know what? I think it wasn't dry enough. I'm gonna leave that to dry a bit more while it's smooshed together. Let me grab a cardstock and I'll work on a card base. Because as I try to pull it apart, I can definitely see that some of it is still, oh, here's a piece of card. I can definitely see that some of it is still, it's not, it's like wanting to come away from the base of my card, so, which is not good. So I'm using some Ice Blast Heavy Doodle cardstock here. And I'm going to give this guy some rain. Let's see what kind of rain we want to give. I'm actually going to use a selection of different inks so that I have different colors of raindrops coming down. So we've got quite a light coverage so far. Double that up a little bit. More ink as I move it around. Oops, managed to get some over the top. And let's grab some broken china. And I want the top to appear heavier rain. So I'm going to move my stencil around and ink that more at the top. Could you add color to the flocking before cutting? I don't know. I will try that on a little bit of scratch card, I think, to try that out. Because if that works, then you could pretty much just get the white flock, right? And then work on it like that. That would be really cool. So we've got Mermaid Lagoon now. This is becoming quite a rainy day over here. It's hard for you guys to see, but it looks cool. I actually really like the way that Mermaid Lagoon pops. So this stencil is being called Rain on My Parade. It's one of our newer ones. And I'm going to try some I want to try a little bit of tumble glass, but I think tumble glass is probably, actually, you know what? I'll do tumble glass oxide. That might work a bit better. If I can find it. Don't tell me not to move. I always have this problem. I labeled them all. I'm just incapable of finding the one that I want to use. I should probably put them in alphabetical order, but I'm never that organized. Maybe I brought it with me to America or something. Ah, there it is. I must have done. I need to just wipe away some of this ink on top before I use the lighter color. Can't really see it because the cardstock is kind of a tumble glass color, but you get almost like a ghost or a tone, a very, very light tone on tone. I'll do more of the raindrops down near the bottom. I'll do that more in the tumble glass oxide. So can you see? Quite subtle. So I'm going to go grab some stitched border, no, stitched, what are they called? Puffy clouds. Oops. Swirly cloud dies. There we go. I'm going to die cut some of these. And my ducks, hopefully they will continue to roost. For want of a better word. Side note. Are those your oxides behind you, and what are they on? They don't bleed out standing sideways. Behind me are the inks, distress inks, and they're on their sides, and no, they don't bleed out. I don't know whether I would put my oxides on their side. I'm not sure I trust them enough, not because they're quite juicy. They're much juicier than an ink. So I have my inks on their sides, but my oxides are over there on their bottoms. My inks, however, are on an acrylic nail polish holder bought from Amazon. All right, let's see if this is going to work. Even if just one works, that would be good. Okay. Can you see? Let me zoom, zoom, zoom. Can you see it? It's definitely flocked. Hopefully you can see that a little. The white has gone over my inked line slightly, so it's not as like the ink line, you've kind of lost it a little. But I think we can maybe get some back with my pokey tool. It's just where the glue has smooshed out a little bit. Might even be able to come in over the top with a pen. So I think the flock, it does absorb the ink a little. Yeah, it's absorbing it quite a bit. It's making it a little fuzzy around the edges. But it's not too bad. Oh, his eye looks awful. It bled a lot. I think that next time we just do blop, he looks like he's got a black eye. Oh, poor thing. Yeah, the ink is kind of bleeding a little bit into it, but he is cool. I don't think the other guy made it. Let's see. No, it's pulling off. I can already see. No. His whole wing is just, he's lost it. Well, the good news is, I think we could make it work. I'm just, not sure if we're gonna be able to make this one work. All right, so I'm actually gonna use my Copics on this because I think that's probably got the best chance of, oh no, that's not gonna work. So it pulls off quite easily. Yeah, it's seeping up into it. I wonder then, oh yeah, okay, so it just kind of pulls away really easily. Okay, let's try an ink. On the edge of it. I'm going to just pounce up and down. Because I think if I move it, it's going to pull it away from the backer. At a car boot, I came across a stash of Whispers archival inks. About 25 inks, lovely for stenciling. Oh, very nice. Okay, so it didn't pull it all on. I wonder if it's because I put the last one through the die cutting machine. Or it could be that the ink's not dry. So guys, I think there's some more experimenting to be done with this, to be honest. It's definitely pulling some of the ink. I wonder if it's gonna come off though. I'm not sure. It's a really fun thing to play with. I was gonna love it. It has a little bit of a floof, but it's not even. Not to the same extent as my son was on this guy. Oh, my purr ducky. Look at his purr eye. I think I'll have to pass on those little ducks. Poor little ducky ducky. Oh well. All right, let's stick these down and finish this up so I can get into the house, which is a bit more of a normal temperature, hopefully, because my knee's playing up as well. So. Oh, I am out of focus. I'm so sorry. I zoomed in and then never came back out. Thank you. So let's stick this down. And in fact, we'll use the remaining sunshine. And we'll use the word hello. So I'm actually going to see if I've got any foam. Have I got yellow foam? I do. Is it big enough? Ooh, it is made for this. Absolutely made for this. Let's get some stick it adhesive for the back. Where's my stick it gone to? Oh, I've been down and hurt my knee. Isn't it sad to be getting old? Oh, that was fitting a minute ago. Okay, this way. I've totally done it the wrong way around. Might still work. Phew. Just about. Will it? Might have to just hang off the edge slightly. Don't mind me while I talk to myself. Just trim away some of that. Overhang so it doesn't gum up my machine. So by adding some double-sided sticky adhesive to the back, it makes my die cut into a sticker, but more importantly for me, it prevents the foam from stretching. So foam in itself wants to wants to stretch. It's just that kind of material. It is a stretchable material. So, I'm actually going to run this one through my Gemini because this is a much thicker adhesive. It's not stick it. I don't know what this one is. It's really quite thick. So the dye has gone through the foam quite fine, but it's catching a little on the adhesive. Do, 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 do. And this is just cheap and cheerful craft foam. There's nothing special about it, just I think it was actually from the pound shop maybe. I'm sure you can get different ones which have more bounce, etc. I do tend to buy black and white from the craft store, but the others I'm not so fussy about because I barely use them. Yells says, I am too young to get old. Yeah, tell me about it. This adhesive is super sticky. It's like sticking everywhere. We're getting there. We had a thunder and lightning storm the other day, and it started, I want to say probably like 11:30, and I love a thunderstorm. So I pulled open the bedroom curtains and was like, yay, opened the window, hung my head out. There was no rain whatsoever, and the whole sky was flashing and flashing and flashing and flashing so much. And I must have sat and watched it for about an hour and a half, and I was like, I've got to go to bed. It was just never ending. Absolutely never ending. So we're going to put sunshine here. Hello, sunshine. I think I can hear thunder in the distance now too. Either that or it's an aeroplane. It could be. I have no idea. Hello, sunshine. I'm going to round these corners if I can find a corner rounder. Piper has a habit of stealing said tool. Ooh, I want the big one. Really simple, but I think it makes an impact. And I feel like we need a sunshine. So I think I'm gonna stamp this little guy from Quack Me Up. And then I got it out. I love a corner puncher. Yes, me too. All right, let's see. I'm going to use a yellow. Actually, this is a new one. Sauna. Let's test it out. Ooh, it might be a bit browny, I'm not sure. Not bad. I kind of like it. I do want to use a lighter yellow to color it in though. Good old tiara will do the trick, I'm sure. Or I suppose we could use the Brutus Monroe ones that we had out earlier. And the good thing about this is that, of course, it has a coordinating die. If you can find the pouch it belongs to. That is. My imagination may be running wild, but I can see a critter being stamped in the clouds. Time for bed, I think. I think we could have one of the wingman birds would work, probably flying. I do love a critter, as you well know. All right, use just need to turn this until it fits snugly. Oh, I can't get it just right. There we go. Oh, I keep losing my place. Right, there we go. Where is my doodles? Awesome. So I think I'm going to put them up here in the clouds. And in fact, in the spaced out stamp set, there's a little face for the clouds and not for the clouds, for the stars and planets. Let me have a look and see how cute they'd be on here. Oh, where's my spaced out stamp set? There it is. It might be too small, I'm not sure. Nah, I quite like it. Let's do it. Let's be a rebel. And then we'll call it a night because I'm tired. It's a little on the small side. Oh, you know what? We might be able to use the one from Treat Yourself. Maybe a little wide. Let me see. We'll use a little one. There we go. Super cute. I would put the sun higher, says Yells Yells. Maybe the sun right in the middle. I want it on this side so that it balances the sentiment. Just there, I think would be cute. Oh, he's so cute. Love him. All right. There we go. 2 cards tonight. You are my sunshine when skies are gray. And hello, sunshine. There we go. I'm going to call it a night, guys. I'm going to go to my bed and rest. My knee is sore. Send me good juju so that it's not so sore. Okay. I think what I might do afterwards is cover this with some glossy accents, because I think that always gives a really nice effect. And my foam is still quite smooshed. It will raise up by tomorrow morning. It will be raised up quite nice, I think. Right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you had lots of fun. I will not see you next Friday, remember, because I'm gonna be in Disneyland. And I don't think Ranger, even though he's going to be here, I don't think that he's going to be able to turn on the camera, sadly. Have a great one, and I shall see you then when I get back. Unless for some reason I decide to do a come craft meet in the middle of the week next week, which is possible, but with packing to be done and all that jazz, who knows. All right, guys, have a good one. Thank you so much for joining me, and I shall see you when I see you next. Ciao. Bye bye.